takeoff positions. So we're going to take a minute to just talk about some of our split stance or takeoff positions that may happen on a basketball court, on a football field, or even on the track. What we're going to go over is we're going to go over these simply, and then I'm going to certainly have drills, and there's other drills that we're going to be working on these, so I just want to review some of the positioning we need to be in. So the first one I want to talk about is that split stance. So it's kind of like a wide receiver. So we're splitting our legs, we're in that split stance position. So if you're a football player, you're a wide receiver, you're used to being in that position. What you need to understand is it's not really small and tight here, because we're probably going to take a false step, move backwards first if we're that small. We need to put our weight on our front toe, sink our hips down, bend our knee, and then our back leg is going to be farther back than maybe most would think. We're not just going to be upright like this, because that's not going to be an explosive position to take off. So put my weight, I'm bending my knee, and you notice there's not that much weight, probably about 10-15% on this back leg. From here now, I'm going to be able to explode off of this leg and then drive my other leg through. So this leg's going to drive through and go back. So that's our simple split stance, and we'll go over split stance starts, kind of showing you what those look like and working on exploding off that most powerful leg in front and the back leg driving up, and then all of our force going back. So another one I want to talk to you about is good for soccer athletes, basketball players, sometimes even football players, where we may find ourselves live game action just standing around. So we're just standing around, we're going to be on 2 feet probably like this, or maybe we're walking. So what I call it's a quick step. So a quick step can be used as a defensive back, backpedaling and then coming forward, but it can also be used in a position where we're just standing. So that quick step movement is if we're standing, our shoulders are going to stay in this same position. So we're going to do a little pop, a little hop here, but we're not going to jump up. We're going to keep our shoulders right here in this position and lift our legs, and we get this pop. And from there then we're going to split our legs and put one leg back, and it's not going to go way back here because then our weight will go back. It's just going to go back far enough that we can get this little pop, gives our front leg enough time to drive out, and we get a pop pop and we drive out, and it gets us kind of back in that split stance position. So you can see this a lot of times, even think about if you're standing on the sidelines, you don't even know you do it and you just do that. So what that's going to look like, back up for you a little bit and take the first step, is I'm going to get this pop, right? But then I'm going to get that pop, and now I can drive that knee out. So one more time, I get here, down, my shoulders don't go up, and drive that knee out. So from there, we work our split stance, we work our single leg. The last one I want to quickly hit is what happens if we're on the ground, right? Football, we dive for a tackle and we miss it. Basketball, same thing. If we're on the ground, we have to push up. So we have to have the upper body strength to push up and then get going within a few steps. So if I'm down on the ground, and I'll get there in a second, I need to continue through my push-up. I need to have the strength to get up there, but I need to be a rod from my ear through my ankle and then be able to drive my knee up and take an efficient foot strike, 1, 2, and probably out. I don't want to spin my legs like Roadrunner. I want to make sure I'm efficient in and out of the ground so I can get up into that acceleration phase and eventually go chase down the play if I need to. So I'm going to be down here, and as I push up explosively, what's going to happen is this leg's going to drive up and it lands in front of me, but it pushes me. I'm that rod, next one out, pushes me and continue out. So we have push-up starts that we'll talk about, but I want to hit on more of the positioning here because that's important to understand how to get up. We don't want to, what a lot of people will do is they'll kind of roll themselves here and take what I would call a false step because they went nowhere. The next one's going to be a false step too, and we've wasted time. We're probably not going to make the tackle. We're probably not going to run down the basketball court and block the layup or whatever it may be. So those three positionings right there are things that you need to work on, especially if you're a multi-sport athlete playing basketball, football, soccer, because you never know what the game is going to come at with you, and so you may need to have to push up off the ground. You may be standing and have to work on that quick step and pop out, or you may be standing still with your legs split and be able to accelerate out properly. So we'll have some drills working on those later, but think about these mechanics as you're working those drills. Work on being a rod and work on being explosive out.